My friends, straight talk from the rideshare professor. There are 3 ways you can get involved in the rideshare business with Uber and Lyft, whether you are a newbie or whether you are a veteran. Now, if you're a veteran, you probably think, well, you can't teach me anything new. Why should I listen to this rideshare professor guy? Folks, every single day, I myself as a veteran, I'm learning new things, and I can only pass on what has worked for me in the past, what works for me today, and how I still make real good money in the rideshare business. So let's start off with newbies, right? You know what car you currently have, right? This might be a small car, 20 to 25 miles per gallon vehicle. Hopefully it's fully paid off, you don't have any payments to make, and you're thinking to yourself, hey, I want to get into the rideshare business, I want to use this car, see how it works. There's nothing wrong with that. Go in, try it out for a few weeks, crunch the numbers. But if you're thinking of buying a car, and again I say to everyone, do what your budget allows you to do. Never ever overextend yourself, right? Don't live above your means, and always look out for unforeseen costs. What are unforeseen costs? You might buy a car, a few weeks down the line, you have a transmission issue. Just don't have the money to pay that $800 to $1,000 because you spend it all on a vehicle. So make sure when you're going into this, again, we're going to discuss 3 ways you can approach this business. The first one, like I told you, you have a vehicle, you're going to try out UberX or Lyft Regular, or you don't have a vehicle, you're going to rent one from either Uber or Lyft. At that moment, you're restricting yourself to one platform only, because these companies work with individual rental or leasing companies, right? And you're going to pay maximum dollars, $250 per week upwards, just to get that car, right? Now, if there's no other option, you don't have a car, but you truly need a job, this may be the way to go, right? Or you have a few $1,000s, and I'm talking $5,000 to $10,000. You're ready to buy a car. You've got the money saved up. You go out there and buy yourself a used hybrid vehicle. I'm not necessarily saying it has to be a Toyota, right? But you're buying yourself a used vehicle, 50 to 100,000 miles. I always say go to dealership auctions if you need any help there, if you need any good contacts that do the buying nationwide. I will introduce you to my guy that buys for me. You will save yourself a lot of money, right? In the medium range level, you may have the money for an XL vehicle, Uber XL, Lyft XL. Now we're talking the minivans, Toyota Sienna, Honda Odyssey. Usually I will buy those vehicles from about $11,000 to $15,000 at the auction. Great condition, low mileage, right? I call that sort of entry level 2. Or you really have the money, you're a realtor, you have a brokerage, whatever you have, and you want to sort of reach out to customers, build clientele, and are looking and exploring additional income levels above your current income, which is good. And that's when I would say go the SUV or maybe even the luxury division, right? Especially the Lux division if you're in high-end real estate. Now, there we're looking at, you know, probably $25,000, $30,000 upwards, right? For the third category, which is SUV or Lux. And folks, if you are heading in that direction, in the third tier, the highest category, always make sure that registering with Uber and Lyft, you additionally go and do your limo license in your state. In California, we call it a TCP license. You got to set up aside about another $1,000 and have that SUV or that S550 Mercedes registered through the DMV as a commercial vehicle. And remember, if you're still making payments on those cars, most financing houses will not allow you to register that car as a commercial vehicle. So be very careful before you go and splash out $30K and you're financing a car, because you can, because you have the credit and you had a good down payment, but you forgot the fact that the financing house might not allow the DMV commercial registration route, right? So if you own that SUV luxury car outright, you've got an additional $1,000, You start the process. I will also put the details of the gentleman that handles all my paperwork. It means you register a limited liability company, LLC. You get your car weighed at a weigh station. You get your car registered as a commercial vehicle at the DMV, and you make sure that you have the budget for at least the first 12 months for a commercial insurance, right? That's the third route. But entry level UberX, very basic car, or you purchase a very basic car, you lease a very basic car for $250 a week, right? That is entry level. Now for veterans that say, you know what, I'm just not making the money in UberX, I'm just not making the money in Excel anymore, I want to go to the second or the third level. You can always trade in your car. You can always offload your car for a decent price, use that as a down payment for an XL vehicle, or as a down payment or a trade-in for an SUV luxury vehicle. Remember, we're talking about ways for veterans to climb the ladder, right, to make more income. Today, where we are right now, this video is made in October 2019. It's changed tremendously over the years. The good times, probably 3, 4, 5 years ago, where we were rolling in the money, getting a decent 75-25 split, they're over, folks. So entry level right now for a newbie, you got to really be way smarter than you were several years ago. And that starts with the purchase. You have to be the smartest when it comes to the purchase of the vehicle, or finding the vehicle, again, true to your budget, true to your credit score. Do never, ever do I encourage anyone to extend themselves beyond their means, right? Now, you have the car, entry-level newbie, you want to bypass the earnings, the lowest earnings in UberX or Lyft Regular, and you go into the XL category. You can comfortably afford a Toyota Sienna at an auction for $11,000 to $15,000. You're making way more than you are tips wise in the X category or Lyft Regular category. You are transporting 6 passengers or more. You will be doing longer trips, airport trips, hotel pickups, hotel drop-offs, families on vacation days, holidays. So these are generally larger crowds, more money per mile. Way higher tips after the trip. Third tier, the luxury or SUV category, if you can afford, and it's okay, you've got the money and you've set aside about $1,500 for repairs in case a transmission problem arises. You've set yourself aside another $1,200 for your TCP license. You have at least $3,000 in an account that you can access to really maximize your efforts, right? So the reason why I'm making the video is that entry level for newbies and stepping it up for veterans are fairly much the same. But if you talk to the veterans of today, the people that know the good times like I do several years ago, we have to truly get creative if we want to climb the ladder. And that really means having the courage to offload one of your cars and going a step higher, as long as you can afford it, right? But if you're purely coming in on an entry level, like I say, you have a car, you need a car maybe through the lease or rental program, or you want to source a car for the very cheapest price. I know how to buy Priuses at $5,000, right, at dealership auctions. Now that's a used car. I would never, ever splash out the money for a brand new car. And listen to this carefully. In UberX, XL, SUV or Lux, I would never go out there and finance a brand new car over 60 months, 5 years. You could maybe do that 4 or 5 years ago. You cannot do that today. So get rid of that thinking right away. Eliminate that thinking and think along the lines that I've just shared with you. I've presented to you as a newbie 3 scenarios: entry level, middle level, higher level. I've presented to you 2 further levels as a veteran to go from the bottom tier X to the XL, or even higher to the SUV or Lux. In the highest tier, you should always be driving on Uber and Lyft and have your chauffeur license to maximize your earnings. There are many days with my Uber and Lyft platform, additionally with my TCP limo license, make $800 to $1,000 a day easily, and I'm not breaking my back. I'm maybe putting in 5-6 good quality trips, right, and a couple of destination trips with Uber and Lyft, right? But always sign up for Uber and Lyft. Same paperwork, same documents, same driver's license, same insurance documents, same registration. You are literally uploading your info into the Uber app, Lyft app. At this point, you lock in the highest bonus if you're a newbie and sign up under my links right underneath this video, and you'll get a lot of additional training and help as you get prepared for day one, trip one, right? So signing up with my codes at this point is going to bring you a lot of other benefits. I will show you what it takes to make 20% more than the average driver. If you have just signed up, right, and you just come across this video right now, you've just signed up, you forgot to put in a code, step by step I show you how you still get paid your retroactive bonus, right? And I will give you the training, and I will gladly go over these 3 scenarios with you, right? So it's really important that you are on both platforms. I would suggest, if you're doing Uber and Lyft, complete the number of trips you need with Uber. Usually it's 100. Cash in on that bonus, then move on to Lyft. Complete the number of trips you need to collect that bonus, cash in on that bonus, and after about 60 days, you switch on both apps and drive on both platforms, right? Now, another way, and this is for newbies and for veterans, right? I take Uber and Lyft trips every week, multiple times, in my own capacity, with my family, with my girlfriend, and I can tell you, it's a 50-50 toss-up between people that are offering great service and poor service. I'll get into one Lyft one day and they just don't care at all, right? I'll get into an Uber the next day or a Lyft and the person is going out of their way. I'm a big tipper. I look at service, and if you're getting into the game as a newbie, platinum service all the way. 5-star, 5-star, 5-star service will bring you the highest tips. I will compare the tips of a person who doesn't care about the business to a person who does care about the business and is fully into the business, showing you their A game. I will compare their tips week by week, anytime. It's like day and night, right? And that projected over 1, 6, or 12 months will literally make the difference on speeding up the payments for your car, right? Or literally making the difference paying for the gas of your car. So that is one way you can bring in a lot of additional money by bringing your A game. Interacting with the passenger, asking them if the temperature is fine, if the setting is fine, if they'd like music played, backing off if they've had a busy day. You got to be able to read a passenger. It's not difficult, but know who you have in your car, what age group, right? Customize your approach for those passengers and you will be golden. You will make so much additional money on tips, right? And I pride myself, I never change my attitude trip by trip. I always give them 5-star service. And not everyone tips me, but when they do, I'm getting good tips, right? My private clients with my TCP limo license will tip me extremely well in the SUV and luxury category. Very often on a $100 trip, $50 or $100 on top, or on a $300 afternoon, which taking them there, taking them back, another $150 or $200 tip. $500 payments are not uncommon from my SUV or luxury clients. And for veterans that have been in XL or SUV for years and have not explored the limo side because they thought, well, you know, the investment's too much, I just don't have that $1,000 to $2,000 to go into that area. Remember, that money goes 100% into your pocket. Not like Uber and Lyft where it's a 50-50 split. 3-4 years ago, where it used to be a 75-25 split. With the TCP and limo license, 100% of the monies are going into your pocket, right? And not uncommon for me to have $800 to $1,000 days. It happens a lot each week, right? So if you need any information on those three approaches, as a newbie or as a veteran, and even as a veteran, don't be shy. I mean, I know a lot because I lease out a lot of vehicles to drivers and I get a lot of feedback, and then I also give you my own feedback. So literally the information or the knowledge that I have accumulated, yes, is from myself by doing it, getting out there, learning by doing, but also by feedback. Every single Tuesday I meet with all the drivers that I lease out to, and I hear a lot of different scenarios, and we always try and make the situation better and better and better. That's the type of quality information I can pass on to you as a newbie or as a veteran. Then if you really want to go beyond these 3 steps, you can always go out and start your own limo company, which means you've already spent the money to acquire your first TCP license now, and you've already gone out and you've explored on buying a vehicle at an auction, and you've seen the savings. Now you can say, hey, I want to get a 2nd, 3rd or 4th or 5th car and get them leased out to individuals. I will also help you with that 4th tier, right, which is probably the highest tier that you can go. Now, can you imagine you have your own limo company, you yourself are a driver like I am with Uber and Lyft, and I'm doing limo private trips, right? And I'm leasing out vehicles to other drivers. Very often, I will be booked out double or triple on a day, and I cannot accommodate 2 or 3 families at the same time on a same Friday or Saturday night. Guess what I do? I ship those leads out to the drivers that I lease out my vehicles. And if I am shipping out $150 lead from Calabasas to LAX, $150, right? I take 20%, not like Uber and Lyft 50%, but I take 20% for passing on that lead to one of my drivers, meaning I'm getting $30 from him or her, right? And they are putting $120 into their pocket. Now, when you have a lot of double and triple bookings and a lot of clients, those $30 here, $20, $50 add up. Every weekend they're coming in. That's a lot of additional money that'll also go towards your commercial insurance, right? Because your commercial insurance on one vehicle and your commercial insurance treating this as a limo company, the expenses will rise exponentially. So to recap, always think of the rainy day that could occur. For unforeseen costs, motor costs, transmission issues, put that money aside. Start saving today. Put money aside for your limo license. Save up for it. If you are a veteran driver, you can step out of the regular category. You might have, like my friend Rick, 14,000 trips in UberX, and he is so ready for XL or SUV, right? Then follow my steps and climb the ladder. Or you're completely new to the game. You came across this video, you sign up below under the Rideshare Professor's Uber and Lyft link, you submit the documentation, you get approved, background check, DMV, background check, criminal background check, everything passes. You have a car, you need to rent a car, or you need to go out and purchase a car. I ran you through 3 scenarios: entry level, medium level, and the highest level that you can get in, which is SUV or Lux. Any questions after this 19 or 20 minute video? Any questions that arise, I am also putting my email and my phone number beneath this video for you, right? So you're more than welcome to reach out if you have any questions regarding the information that I have shared with you in this video, right? And again, as I said in the very beginning, I truly think there are 3 ways to approach this business as a newbie or as a veteran, and possibly even a 4th tier, which I've explored, which really makes you a lot of money, is when you start buying cars and leasing cars. I wish you a fantastic day. If you're currently driving and watching the video, please be safe. If you're thinking, if you're doing your homework, you're shopping for cars, you need a little bit of input on that, do not hesitate. I'm always there for the driver. I'm a voice for the drivers. I'm known as the Rideshare Professor. I have trained several thousand people in this business. I get probably 200 to 300 texts and emails per day. I get back to the people and I help them improve their game. I appreciate you. Drive safe and have an amazing day. Thank you.